I didn't fall for him because he was younger. I fell because he listened, and no one else did. I didn't know then that being understood could be more dangerous than being touched. From the outside, my life looked finished, complete, sealed, a house filled with light, a husband people respected, a name that opened doors, but nothing inside that life ever reached me. Perfection is loud. It talks endlessly. It performs. It never leans in and asks how you survive the nights when no one is touching you and you still feel empty. I learned how to stay quiet about that emptiness, even from myself. We met in a bookstore cafe, a place where people pretend to mind their own business. The room was full. One chair wasn't. He asked if the seat was taken. His voice didn't try to impress me. That should have warned me. I said no. He sat down slowly, like he wasn't afraid of taking space. He didn't stare at my body. He didn't rush to fill silence. He waited. Men don't usually wait. That's how I noticed him. When I spoke, he didn't interrupt. He didn't nod too much. He didn't smile at the wrong moments. He listened the way people do when they're collecting something. I felt myself slow down around him. My voice softened without permission. When I stopped talking, he didn't rescue me from the silence. He let it sit between us, heavy, warm. Something in my body responded before my mind caught up. That scared me. We didn't exchange numbers. We didn't make plans. That restraint made it worse. When I came back days later, he was there again, not waiting, just present, like I was the predictable one. Coffee became routine. Routine became comfort. Comfort became something closer to need. Still, he never touched me. The space between us did all the work. He sat close enough that I became aware of my own breathing, close enough that I noticed when his changed too. Sometimes our knees brushed the same invisible line, never crossed it. He didn't take anything from me. He made me lean forward on my own. That was the moment I should have walked away. At home, I stopped saying everything, not lies, just selective truth. My husband didn't feel the difference. He never listened closely enough to miss it. Noah did. He remembered details I forgot sharing. He noticed shifts in my tone, the pauses I didn't explain. Once, he asked me something that landed too close to a thought I'd never said out loud. I laughed it off. Inside, something tightened. The cafe closed early that night. We stood outside under city light that made everything look temporary. Neither of us moved. He stepped closer, not touching, just close enough to change the air. I felt it in my chest, in my throat. When he leaned in, I expected a kiss. Instead, he spoke. His voice, that close to my ear, did something far more permanent. He pulled away first. That was the moment I lost something, not control, illusion. I realized then he knew exactly what he was doing. That night, I didn't sleep. I replayed what almost happened until it felt more real than what never had. After that, he became sharper, quieter. He finished my sentences, anticipated my reactions. It felt flattering until it felt precise. Once he said a name I had never spoken near him. My body reacted before my mind did. The file wasn't hidden. It didn't need to be. My husband's past, a decision that ruined lives, a family name I now recognized too well, Noah. When I confronted him, he didn't deny anything. He didn't raise his voice. He just said, "You were never accidental." That's when I understood. Nothing collapsed loudly. It all fell apart quietly. My marriage didn't end because of desire. It ended because I finally saw the truth. Noah disappeared the same way he arrived, without apology, without explanation. His last message was simple. I didn't take anything from you. I showed you what was already missing. Years later, I still notice men who listen too carefully. I still feel my body respond to silence before my mind tells it to stop. And I ask myself the same question. Was he desire, or was he the consequence of being unseen for too long? For a long time after Noah disappeared, nothing dramatic happened. No messages, no signs, no explanations. That was the hardest part. People expect pain to announce itself. Mine stayed quiet. I rebuilt what I could. New routines, different rooms, a version of myself that didn't look back too often. I told myself it was over. I believed that lie until the first letter arrived. It wasn't threatening. It wasn't romantic. It was precise. A detail about my day I hadn't shared with anyone. The coffee I ordered, the book I picked up but didn't buy, the pause I took before crossing the street. There was no signature. I didn't need one. What terrified me wasn't that he was watching. It was that a part of me had missed being seen. More messages came, never too many, never too close together. Each one proved the same thing. He hadn't disappeared. He had stepped back. I stopped reacting, stopped changing my routine. I wanted him to feel the difference. Silence can be a weapon if you know how to hold it. Weeks passed, then he finally broke it. He asked to see me. One time, one place. I didn't hesitate. That scared me more than his return. We met where it started, the same cafe, the same table. He looked the same, calm, unrushed. But something had shifted. This time, he watched me the way someone watches an equal. I realized then I wasn't the woman he left behind. He told me everything, not with drama, not with guilt. He told me the truth because he no longer needed leverage. I had already changed. He thought he had broken me. What he hadn't planned for was adaptation. I didn't confront him. I didn't accuse him. I listened, and when he finished, I stood up first. For the first time, he didn't stop me. He disappeared again, this time for good. Not because I chased him, not because I exposed him, because I no longer gave him access. Some people don't survive being unnecessary. Years later, people still ask why my voice changes when a room goes quiet. Why I notice pauses, why I read faces too carefully. I never tell them. Some lessons aren't meant to be shared. They're meant to be carried. I once thought desire was about being wanted. I was wrong. Desire is about being seen, and the most dangerous people in the world are the ones who know how to look at you until you forget who you were before they noticed you. That was my mistake and my survival.